Good Friday. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Quincy, host and founder of Studio Q. Yes, that's me. Today marks my 5th day. It's my 5th day of doing this live show. I don't exactly get my live chats, just in case somebody might come on in here. Make sure I'll be able to see. All right. It's my 5th day of doing Quincy Live. The reason I'm doing my live show is because most of my interviews that you see on my YouTube channel, have my arm in it. They don't really have me. Oh, look at that. Oh, I just came from the boiling crab. Look at that. This was from my bib. If you're just joining me, my name is Quencie Thomas, host and founder of Studio Q. And I interview the stars that you love. I just got back from the boiling crab. This is like a mirror. I can't see. My hair is all messed up or whatever. Just came back from the boiling crab. Man, let me tell you something. If you want to get your life, go to the boiling crab. I mean, the seasonings, the crab, got like 1.5 pounds of snow crab. Oh, it was so delicious. It was so delicious. And I went right after the gym. I know you're not supposed to eat right after the gym, but it was crab, so it wasn't like that fattening. And at the gym, at this gym, I've seen Trey Songz, Master P. I saw Michael De Lorenz, an actor, today. And this other guy who was an actor, Lord Jesus, his name escapes me. But I've seen him in, some movies. And so when I see them, I get up off of the elliptical or the treadmill or whatever, and I go ask them for a photo or an interview. Because yes, I'm sure some of them probably don't like it. Some of them don't care, but it's about that hustle. It's about getting that interview. It's about getting that photo, making that connection. So that's one of the ways that I book my show, is being out and about. And being in LA, you tend to see a few celebrities here and there. And I try to make the most of it when I do see them. So I saw today, before I got live, that St. Louis is on fire. I mean, not literally on fire, but people are marching the streets because of the verdict from the judge. Let me just get this straight. The Jason Stockley verdict. An ex-cop was acquitted for murdering Anthony Lamar Smith. Just as a black person, hey, what's going on, Ryan King? You found me. I left Periscope for YouTube Live. Yeah, it's been a long time. I do remember you from Periscope. Of course, how could I not? You were such a great supporter, and I appreciate you finding me on YouTube and saying what's up. So anyway, right before you jumped in, I was talking about the St. Louis. This is my friend Liz. I ain't seen her in a little bit. Hold on. Hey, Liz. I'm live on YouTube right now. I'm going to call you right back. Give me 15 minutes. Okay, bye. Yeah, so anyway, I just want to say, just as a black person, it's just so disheartening once again for another black man to be shot, and for the police to get off. And we continue to march in the streets, but we have got to vote. We have got to vote some of these people out here, the judges, the Republicans, who are not on our side. This is like an epidemic. If you have a black son, are you a black man yourself? It's really scary that you can literally just be killed, and not only killed, but that the person who killed you can be acquitted and set free. It's just happened again and again and again and again. And I'm just so sad about that. And people are marching the streets, and I don't blame them. But I just hate that this is continuing. I mean, it's 2017 and cops can kill black men and get off. I mean, you would think it was like 1955. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I send my, love and light and blessings to the family of Anthony Lamar Smith, who was killed by a cop. And, protesters continue to protest this. This is horrible. I'm down with Black Lives Matter. For sure, for real. All right, well, I want to get to my interview that I'm going to talk about today. Shifting gears, this show is about me talking about the interviews that I have conducted, what maybe you didn't see in them, what I learned from them, maybe some advice I could give if some of you may want to do what I'm doing, interviewing on the red carpet or doing celebrity interviews, period. And then that's it. If somebody's interacting with me, that'll make it a little bit longer. But for the most part, I just want you to get to know me and me to get to know you, and sharing these stories that I have with these interviews that you really don't see me in. So today I'm going to talk about my interview with Jennifer Lewis. I mean, we got to interview Jennifer Lewis. We're supposed to interview her again. We were supposed to, but for some reason her schedule and then, our schedule, trying to interview other people, it's crazy. But we'll get a second interview with Jennifer Lewis one day soon, hopefully. But the interview that I did with her, like if I never interview Jennifer Lewis again, it's okay. Because the interview that I do have with her is like one of my best Studio Q interviews. Jennifer Lewis was amazing. I mean, first of all, because Tam and I love her, we brought her flowers. We don't do that to everybody we interview. Trust and believe. We do not bring, not that we don't love people, but everybody don't deserve no flowers. Everybody don't move you the same way. But Jennifer Lewis is an icon. She's a black mother in the acting community in Black Hollywood. And we wanted to let her know just how much we loved her. So we bought some flowers. We got to go to her house, which was dope, okay? We got to interview Jennifer Lewis at the house. I mean, what you didn't see was me sitting down with Jennifer Lewis, and probably the first I wouldn't say 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, I introduce and we start the interview, and Jennifer just says, "Wait a minute, stop. I don't like how this is going. I don't like how it's going. I don't like how I'm sitting. I don't like the vibe. Let's start over." I mean, that's never ever happened to me before, but it's Jennifer Lewis. What you gonna do? Okay, cut, reset, and let's start again. And so that's what we did. We cut and we started again, and it was worth it. Obviously, she knew what she was talking about, because when we started again, the interview was, fantastic. She talked about being bipolar. She talked about all of her roles. She talked about her family. It was like almost an hour-long interview, and she really shared some pearls of wisdom. I'm a big Whitney fan. She did The Preacher's Wife with Whitney, so I asked her about working with Whitney. She talked about that. She even sang a little bit. It was one for the record books. Then after the interview, Jennifer invited us into her house. She showed us her pictures with Obama, and she shared some more stories with us. She walked us to the car. I felt like she was an auntie, really, really. I didn't, get to formulate a song like Brandy and have it go viral like in these streets, but I felt like, I was in that circle of love during that moment, because she was just so welcoming. She really was like a Black Hollywood mother. She just embraced us, and she was just open, you know what I mean? And the things that she was sharing in that interview was, helpful. So if you have a chance, like I said, I make a playlist for everything that I talk about in my YouTube live shows. So if you haven't seen an interview that I discussed, you could just go to that playlist, Quencie's live stream content, and you can check out the interview that, you may not have seen that I'm talking about in this show. And it was like a really, really great experience. And we got to interview her probably like the first year that I started doing Studio Q in LA. So it's been a while, like back in 2012. So this is before Blackish. And so, I mean, but Jennifer Lewis had already done like a million things, Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It? Jackie's Back. Jackie's Back is one of my favorite mockumentaries. I mean, it is hilarious. And of course, Jennifer Lewis makes it. And in that interview, you didn't, of course, get to see this part either, but I had sunglasses because we did the interview outside by Jennifer Lewis's pool in her backyard. And it was, I mean, when I say it was hot, it was so hot. I was just like sweating. I had sunglasses on. I mean, Jennifer Lewis looked cool as a cucumber. I mean, it felt like she was just sitting up in the shade. Even her makeup was, dope, and she seemed relaxed, had her water. She was fine. Now, me on the other hand, I was, sweating, and I had my index cards, and Tam was holding the camera. She said she had a cramp in her leg. I mean, it was, it was uncomfortable on our part. But after the interview, Jennifer Lewis was like, if I didn't feel your energy, I would have told you to take those sunglasses off, because I don't let anybody, interview me with sunglasses where I can't have the ability to see their eyes. Your eyes are the windows to your soul. But your spirit was so strong, and I could feel your spirit, that I didn't have to tell you to do that. And I was like, oh my God. So, now I'm never wearing sunglasses in an interview. I mean, but the only reason I did was because it was just, I mean, it was so bright. It was outside. It was sweating. I mean, it was a great moment with a great person, but it was hot as hell. Okay. And that sun, that LA sun, I mean, I always have sunglasses on. So I didn't mean any disrespect by keeping the sunglasses on. I just did not want the sun in my eyes. That's really it. I mean, really. So I'm glad that she could feel my spirit, and she wasn't like, offended that I did that. But yeah, she did say that. But I just love that we talked to her for an hour almost, and she still like invited us in the crib and talked some more. I mean, she just was engaging. She just was wonderful. And that's why I wanted to interview her again. But like I said, if I never get a chance to interview her again, I mean, not that I don't want to, but if I don't, it's okay, because that was like, one of those ones for the record books, like I said. And so I'm just happy that I got to sit with her at all. She's a legend in the Black community. I hope she gave you into You know what? She had, well, I'm sure if we would have asked her, but we didn't ask her, Ryan. We just act like, we didn't need any water. But she sure enough had her water. Okay, all right. But I'm like, we would like, Jennifer, think we can have some water? I'm sure she would. I'm sure she would have gave us some water, but we just, I think that was probably like the second or third interview that we had done. So, we was just happy to be there and to be at her house. Her publicist was like, this is pretty special. She really likes taking interest in young people and supporting them. So that's why, but it's not like something that she does all the time, like have people at her house. And I mean, she didn't have to tell me that. I just know, just in regular life, even if you're not a celebrity, you're not just about to come over to my house and do an interview. Like, we could meet at the studio, or we could do, so I already knew that it was pretty awesome for us to be there. And, I guess because she's bipolar and everything, her publicist was like, if you see her on the red carpet in the future, she's probably not going to remember this, so don't be offended or anything like that. And that is not the case. We saw Jennifer Lewis at the mall one time. She remembered us. She started talking about Charmaine, her daughter. We saw her on the red carpet, and we told her about, we reminded her that we interviewed her, and she was like, oh yes, oh my God, that interview was so long, but it was good. It's the kind of it's the reason, the interview that I had with Jennifer Lewis is the reason why I want to do interviews, is to have intimate conversations with, people whose art moves a whole community, and find out the stories behind whatever it is they do and their process and the other things that they may have had to go through to be who they are and you know, deliver what they deliver. They go through stuff just like we do, but then they, you know, put on this character and deliver something awesome to the public. And to be able to sit with people and talk with them about that is just so interesting to me, and I'm passionate about it. And the experience I had with Jennifer Lewis is exactly the kind of thing that I want repeated over and over and over and over with different people. It's kind of like Oprah with Super Soul Sunday. You know, she finally doesn't have like a million shows featuring her on OWN TV because she has all these successful other shows going on, and she's not really needed in the way that she was when she first launched OWN TV. However, she gets a joy from talking to people about spirituality, and she's been doing, you know, sitting with one person or several people for 30 plus years. So you know, she has to be passionate about it because she still wants to do it and she's still doing it. And that's what I want to do. I mean, it don't have to be like Super Soul Sunday, but just sitting with stars and talking, you know, talking about their craft really. And, you know, when you talk about their craft, it's already, you know, interwoven when you talk to real artists with their life. So I just love it. I just love it. And my interview with Jennifer Lewis is a great example of how well it should be done. It's just one of my best interviews. And I think, you know, because I was definitely well researched, but because Jennifer Lewis was so open, she was so cool, she was so welcoming, she was, you know, willing to be vulnerable. It was just great. It was good conversation. And I appreciate that. I thank you, Jennifer Lewis, for letting us into your house, for letting us interview you and welcoming, you know, Tam and I into your home and showing us the Obama pictures and all that. We will remember that forever, 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 forever. So yeah, I mean, I guess what I learned from that interview is, you know, maybe not to keep my sunglasses on during the interview, but hopefully I won't be doing no interviews outside directly in the sun either. But yeah, you know, maybe not to you know, keep the glasses on. And I have to work on my intros. I'm about the conversation, so I forget that you also have to work on the intros, because, you know, people need to be properly introduced and I need to introduce to the camera, but, you know, that's not my forte, so it's something I have to really work on. Introing what I'm doing, introing the person, and, you know, wrapping it up. The meat part, that's what I always focus on. But, you know, you need the other parts too. So I realized, you know, after that too, like, oh, you know what, it'd been great if I had a dope intro and introduced her, you know, with a more elaborate introduction. So it's always something to learn, and every experience teaches you something that you could be better at. But also, I was just happy that I got to sit with a legend. You know what I'm saying? She's a legend to me. Black Hollywood, you know, that's why we bought her flowers, because she's one of those living legends, and she gave wisdom and shared herself like a legend, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, next to my Whitney interview, I mean, you know, and I don't even consider my Whitney Houston interview a real interview. I consider that just my dream come true moment with Whitney Houston. I got to just tell her how much I loved her. You know what I mean? It was in an interview format, because that was the show, but it was really just me being a fan. So I appreciate that. But other than that, like, I think Jennifer Lewis is is number 2. So yeah, that was like just one. I mean, I've done some good interviews, but Jennifer Lewis is probably one of the best ones. Yeah, it really was. So yay, I made 5 days, you guys. 5 days live on YouTube. Next week, I'm going to tell people that I'm going to be live before I'm actually live. This week, I just wanted to get my feet wet and, you know, see what it was like, see what time would be good. So I've done this at different times. But, you know, next week I'm going to try to, like, just zero on a one time and stick to that time and tell people before so they can join me. But, you know, Ryan, I don't know how you found me, but thank you. Thank you for joining me. And You know, you supported me on Periscope and now you're on YouTube Live. I sure enough appreciate that. I really do. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to a gala for Black AIDS. It's, you know, supporting, it's with the Black AIDS Institute. Jesse Smollett is hosting, I think it's his organization, Heroes in the Struggle. And there's going to be a lot of big people there. I think Harry Belafonte, Taraji P. Henson, Alfre Woodard, all these great people. And I just pray and hope that I get to talk to all of them. I also have another event to do before that, Celebrity Connected, honoring the Emmys, because the Emmys are coming this Sunday. And so it's a gifting luxury suite. I do those every, like, for all like major events that they have a gifting suite for. They also have a red carpet. And, you know, Tam and I go cover it. And also the media gets to walk around and get free gifts too. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. We have 2 events, so I'll be busy. But maybe I can maybe go live and show you guys what it's like to be in the moment, interviewing and all that stuff. It's hard. We probably need like an intern or something to handle our people doing live, because with Tam doing camera and me actually interviewing people, we run out of hands. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to be like, ooh, doing live and all this stuff. So I just like to stay focused on that one person in front of me, the one person coming up, and it can be kind of hectic trying to be live and snapping and all that stuff. So we probably need to get somebody else to help us, you know, this year, next year. So yeah. All right, you guys, I hope that you have an awesome weekend. I'll be back on Monday because, yeah, the weekend, I just do Monday through Friday live on YouTube. And for all those 1, 2, 3, or 4 people that peeked in, you know, every day this week, thank you. I appreciate you. Again, my name is Quencie. I'm the host and founder of Studio Q. I interview the stars you love. If you have not seen any of my interviews, please subscribe below, and you know, check out my playlist, Quencie's live stream content, and check out some of the interviews that I've talked about this week, or just browse around the videos and check out some other interviews that I've done. So yeah, and follow me on social media. I'm everywhere at Quencie and at Studio Q TV. So on Snapchat, I'm Studio Q TV. On Instagram, I'm at Studio Q TV. And yeah, thank you, Ryan. I'm glad to see you as well. You know, I appreciate the support. I'm on Facebook. Everywhere it's Quencie Thomas, or at Studio Q TV. So follow me, say hello, and yeah, I hit you back. All right, guys, have a good weekend.